What's up everyone, we're going to be going to the best NBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now don't forget to like this video as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day. So make sure to like this video clicking that button down below. And if we get 650 likes, I will do another video for tomorrow. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 21 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We actually got 0 picks wrong and we got a 21 right, which is a 100% win rate. Yes guys, you heard that right, 100% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 100% win rate and get 21 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $500 just yesterday. Another member who won $300 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel, the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to F35 Lightning 35. You said, hey, just so you know, I'm saving this video because I'm going to try and buy the subscription in about 5 hours. So shouts out to him for joining. And shouts out to Kason Eckert 205 who said next vid. So we did just drop his vid right here. So shouts out to him as well. And if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it. And you could be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. So let's get into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than Vince Williams. Now this one is a fantastic one because this one is actually a combo one for actually rebounds and assists for 12.5, and this one actually is for less. Now looking at Vince Williams, we have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, you see on November 12th faced off against New York Knicks, had 15 rebounds and assists there. November 13th faced off against Boston Celtics, had 7 rebounds and assists. Then November 16th faced off against Cleveland, had 9 rebounds and assists. After that, November 19th faced off against the San Antonio Spurs, had 18 rebounds and assists. After that, November 21st faced off against Sacramento and had a 20 rebound and assist matchup. So we have seen actually Vince Williams go on the under, as I've mentioned, in 2 out of the last 5, and his average over the last 5 is also 13.8. So he's actually done a fantastic job there. Now coming into this matchup, we do also know that Vince Williams does face off against none other than Dallas Mavericks. Now, looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies come in at the actual 11th position in the Western Conference. They actually have a record of 5 wins and 11 losses. That's a 31.3% win percentage there. Also 4-5 from home, 1-6 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. That's very interesting to see, and they face off against a Dallas Mavericks team who ranked 12th in the Western Conference, and they have a record of 5 wins and 12 losses. That's a 29.4% win percentage there. They're also 4-8 from home, 1-3 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak there. So very interesting to see. Now coming into this matchup, we do also see that when we look at Dallas defensively, we see that they rank 5th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 28th. So Vince Williams does actually, face off against a Dallas team that do a great job at restricting assists. A little bit worse in rebounds. However, when we actually look at Dallas Mavericks, they do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds and assists to the guard position. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. Now we have seen Vince Williams actually go up against teams in the past that are much easier in the rebounding and assist department. He has been able to take advantage of it for sure, but I do believe it's brought this line a little bit too high, and now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for this situation here for the under. And when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well. So Vince Williams, 12.5 rebounds and assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about none other than Bogdan Bogdanovic. So Bogdan, great player as we all know. This one is for 3.5 rebounds and this one is for less. Now looking at Bogdan, we actually have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, see on November 13th, faced off against Denver, had 0 rebounds there. November 15th, faced off against Dallas, had 3 rebounds. Then November 17th, faced off against Boston, had 4 rebounds there. 7 rebounds against Philadelphia on November 18th. And then against Orlando, had November 21st, had 1 rebound there. So we have seen Bogdan actually go on the under quite consistently. He's gone on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. And the LA Clippers do face off against the Charlotte Hornets, which is pretty interesting to see. Now, looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with actually the LA Clippers, we do see that LA Clippers ranking-wise, they do actually rank surprisingly, 13th. So Clippers rank very, very poorly. Not only do they rank very poorly, but they also have a record of 4 wins and 11 losses. That's a 26.7% win percentage there. 3-5 from home, 1-6 from away, and are currently on a 3-game losing streak. So very interesting to see there. Now Clippers face off against Charlotte, where Charlotte Hornets do actually find themselves in a position where they rank 12th in the Eastern Conference. So they actually rank higher, but obviously in a different conference. And they have a record of 4 wins and 11 losses. So, same record there, 26.7% win percentage. On top of that, they are 3-4 from home, 1-7 from away, and are currently on a 4-game losing streak. Now, looking at Charlotte Hornets defensively, we do actually see that they rank 2nd when it comes to rebounds allowed. That's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a great player, but on top of that, we also do know that Charlottes have just done a fantastic job all season at restricting rebounds, and unfortunately, we are expecting Bogdan to go on the under for it. Now, looking at those last 5 games, you see that he has gone on the under in 3 out of the last 5. And on top of that, the fact that Charlotte not only just do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds, but also do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to Bogdan's position, it definitely does have us believe in the under for this situation here. So, when we look at his average over the last 5, it is also 3 as well. So, all signs really do point towards the under for this one, and that's why we are sticking to it. So, Bogdan Bogdanovic, 3.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So, getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray, great player, and this one is for rebounds and assists, so another combo one for actually 10.5, and this one is for less. So, let's just quickly find the rebounds and assists. So 10.5 for less. Now, looking at Jamal, we actually have seen him go in the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, see on November 13th, face off against the LA Clippers, had 9 rebounds and assists there. November 16th, faced off against Minnesota, had 18 rebounds and assists. Then 15 rebounds and assists against Chicago on November 18th. November 20th, faced off against New Orleans Pelicans, had 8 rebounds and assists there. Then against Houston, had 12 rebounds and assists on November 22nd. So very interesting to see. Now, we have seen Jamal Murray not only just go on the under in 2 out of the last 5, but his average over the last 5 is also 12.4. So it is slightly above this line, but looking at the matchup, we do know Denver face off against Sacramento Kings. Now, looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with the Denver Nuggets, Denver have done a great job so far this season because they come in at the 2nd spot in the Western Conference, and they have a record of 12 wins and 3 losses. That's an 80% win percentage there, 6-1 from home, 6-2 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. And they face off against Sacramento, where Sacramento Kings rank 14th in the same conference and also have a record of 3 wins and 13 losses. That's an 18.8% win percentage there. Also 2-5 from home, 1-8 from away, and are currently on an 8-game losing streak. So very interesting to see between both of these teams. Now, obviously, looking at Denver and Sacramento, it is definitely going to be still an exciting game for sure. But looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with actually Sacramento defensively, when we look at rebounds and assists, we do actually see that Sacramento Kings do rank when it comes to assists allowed. They do rank 27th, and then rebounds allowed. We also do see that the Kings rank somewhat similar as they rank 23rd. They rank pretty low. So why do we like the under for this? And a big reason is that when we actually look on a per position basis, we do see that Sacramento Kings actually do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds and assists to the Jamal Murray's position. So for that reason, we definitely do like the under for this situation here. We definitely see him going on the under due to the fact that when we look at these situations that Sacramento tends to really hone in, focus on guards, and try to restrict them as much as they can. That's why coming into this matchup, we are definitely liking the under for it. So Jamal Murray, 10.5 rebounds and assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Jordan Clarkson. So Jordan Clarkson, great player for none other than the New York Knicks. And we have have actually seen him do a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 10.4 points, 2 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and has also had a 47.3% field goal percentage. So he definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, when we actually look at this matchup, we do also know that New York Knicks have themselves a very, very good matchup against Orlando Magic. Now, first starting off with the ranking for Jordan Clarkson, he ranks 138th in points, 150th plus in rebounds, 150th plus in assists, and also 80th when it comes to field goal percentage. So definitely been an interesting time for Jordan Clarkson. Now, coming into this matchup, we actually do see, ranking both of these teams or where they do rank. We see that New York Knicks come in at the actual 4th spot in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 9 wins and 5 losses. That's a 64.3% win percentage there. 8-1 from home, 1-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, they face off against the Orlando Magic, where Orlando Magic come in at the actual 8th spot in the Eastern Conference, and they have a record of 9 wins and 7 losses. So that's a 56.3% win percentage there. 6-3 from home, 3-4 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see in that matchup. Now, looking at this matchup, we also do know that we actually have seen that Orlando Magic, when we look at them defensively, looking at points allowed, we see that they rank 7th. When it comes to assists allowed, they rank 3rd, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 6th. So they've actually done a fantastic job as of recent, because they've done a great job at actually, pushing the defense and really getting in there, and they have restricted quite a lot of teams from points, rebounds, and assists. And that's why coming into this next one, we do very, very much like the under for this situation here. Now, for someone like Jordan Clarkson, yes, he is a great player. And yes, he does have, somewhat of a good usage rate out there on the floor. But looking at this one, with Orlando Magic's defense, and on top of that, we also do know when we actually look at the pace of Orlando Magic, they do like to slow the pace down quite a lot. And because of that, we definitely see it having a huge effect here. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this one. And when it comes to actually Jordan Clarkson and his last 5 games, we saw on the 12th faced off against Memphis, had 13 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds there. Then on the 13th faced off against Orlando and actually had 5 points, 1 assist, and 1 rebound there. So we actually did see him go under in all 3 categories when it came to that most recent matchup against Orlando. Then we had on the 15th against Miami, had a 140-132 win with 24 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds there. On the 18th, faced off against Miami, had a 115-113 loss with 14 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds there. And then on the 20th, faced off against Dallas, had a 113-111 win with 8 points, 0 assists, and 4 rebounds there. So very, very interesting to see. Now, coming into this next matchup, as we've mentioned, and we do very much like the under for this situation here for someone like Jordan Clarkson. And when you also look at their most recent matchup against each other, when it came to that last matchup on the 13th, we saw Clarkson go on the under quite consistently, and we should see that happen again. So for that reason, we are definitely sticking to the under. So keep an eye out for Jordan Clarkson's line. See a lot of value there to go on the under, especially the line is too close to, his averages. So getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Jeremiah Fears. The Jeremiah Fears, great player. Now, he's actually averaged 15.7 points, 3.2 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and has also had a 46.2% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, when we actually look at this matchup, we do know Jeremiah Fears ranks 78th when it comes to points, 150th plus when it comes to rebounds, 108th when it comes to assists, and then 106th when it actually comes to field goal percentage. So we definitely have seen him do an interesting job there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also know that Jeremiah Fears and the New Orleans Pelicans face off against none other than an actual, Atlanta Hawks team, where Atlanta have actually done a pretty decent job so far this season. Now, looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with, New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans have come in at the actual 15th spot in the Western Conference. They have a record of 2 wins and 14 losses. They have a 12.5% win percentage there. They're also 1-7 from home, 1-7 from away, and are currently on an 8-game losing streak. So it's definitely been pretty interesting there. But looking at this matchup, we do also know that New Orleans Pelicans face off against an Atlanta Hawks team who do rank 7th in the Eastern Conference. So Hawks have actually done a pretty good job so far this season. Not only do they rank there, but they also have a record of 9 wins and 7 losses. That's a 56.3% win percentage there. They're 2-4 from home, 7-3 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see it coming into this matchup. Now, looking at someone like Jeremiah Fears and the New Orleans Pelicans, they face off against an Atlanta Hawks team where Hawks do actually rank 11th when it comes to points allowed, 9th when it comes to assists allowed, and when we look at rebounds allowed, we also see that the Hawks do rank surprisingly at 22nd. So, we actually have seen Hawks do a pretty decent job at points and assists, a little bit lower in rebounds. Now, coming into this matchup for someone like Jeremiah Fears, we do actually like the under for this situation here, but strictly just for points and assists. Now, when we look at Jeremiah Fears, he is a great player. Now, when it comes to his usage rate, it is pretty, I would say even throughout all 15 points, 3.2 rebounds, 2.6 assists. So he does have a decent usage rate in all three departments, but we definitely especially like him going for the under in that points and assists category. And a big reason being is for that reason that I did mention earlier, how Hawks just do a very good job at restricting points and assists. But on top of that, they also do a fantastic job at restricting that to the guard position as well. So unfortunately, we see, Jeremiah Fears in a situation where he may definitely struggle at actually scoring the ball and also playmaking. I can definitely have a huge effect there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for someone like Jeremiah Fears coming into this game. Now, looking at his last 5 matchups, we saw on the 15th, faced off against the LA Lakers, had a 118-104 loss with actually 19 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds there. On the 17th, faced off against Golden State Warriors, had a 124-106 loss with 17 points, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds there. Then on the 18th, faced off against Oklahoma City Thunder, had a 126-109 loss with 24 points, 1 assist, and 1 rebound there. Then on the 20th, faced off against Denver, had 16 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, and also had a 22nd matchup against Dallas and had 118-115 loss with 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So when we look at this, we definitely do very, very much like the actual, under for this situation, as we mentioned, for points and assists. And for someone like Jeremiah Fears, who is facing off against an Atlanta Hawks team, who surprisingly have surprised a lot of people this season, playing great defense and also slowing the pace down, as they used to be a pretty fast-paced team. We definitely see that affecting someone like Jeremiah Fears. And on top of that, we do know Jeremiah isn't really, the highest usage rate player for this Pelicans team. So we definitely see his actual usage rate suffering coming into this. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this one. So keep an eye out for Jeremiah Fears. As I mentioned, points and assists is definitely where you want to focus on. I see a lot of value there to go on the under. So Jeremiah Fears, keep an eye out for his points and assist line. Now getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about Santi Aldama. Now Santi, great player, as we all know, for none other than the Memphis Grizzlies. And he's done a fantastic job, actually averaging 13.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and has also had a 47.5% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now when we look at this, we see that he ranks or tied 93rd when it comes to points, 43rd when it comes to rebounds, 112th when it comes to assists, and 75th when it comes to field goal percentage. So it's definitely been interesting there. Now looking at Memphis Grizzlies, they do have themselves a really good matchup against none other than the Dallas Mavericks. And when we look at the Dallas Mavericks and the Memphis Grizzlies, looking at both of these teams, we do actually see, looking at where both of these teams do rank, starting off with Grizzlies. Grizzlies come in at the 11th spot in the actual Western Conference. They have a record of 5 wins and 11 losses. So that's a 31.3% win percentage there. And on top of that, they face off against, a team like the Mavericks. But we also do like to see that Grizzlies ranked 4 and 5 when it comes to home, and also 1 and 6 when it comes to their record in away. So they are currently on a 1-game win streak. They face off against the Mavericks, who do actually have 5 wins and 12 losses and rank 12th, so just 1 slightly below. And they also have a 29.4% win percentage there. They also 4 and 8 from home, 1 and 3 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now coming into this matchup, we do also know that the Mavericks face off against the Grizzlies. And looking at Mavericks defensively, we do actually see that Dallas Mavericks rank, when it comes to points allowed, surprisingly they rank 18th. When we look at assists allowed, we see that Dallas Mavericks also, rank a little bit better, I would say, but they still do rank, fifth. And then rebounds allowed, they also do rank, in that somewhat similar situation to points, as they do actually rank 28th. So a little bit interesting there. They rank a little bit better in assists, rebounds, and points very, very low. But coming into this one, we do like the over for someone like Santi Aldama, but strictly just for the points and rebounds department. Now, this one is kind of a no-brainer, as we mentioned. I do believe when we look at, the points and rebounds and where they do rank defensively, they do a very poor job. And we are just expecting someone like Santi to be able to take advantage of this and go on the over there. Now, looking at Aldama over the last 5 games, you saw on the 12th, faced off against New York Knicks, had a 133-120 loss, with 19 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds there. On the 13th, faced off against Boston, had a 131-95 loss, with 14 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds there. Then on the 16th, faced off against Cleveland, had a 108-100 loss, with 12 points, 2 assists, 11 rebounds. Then on the 19th, faced off against San Antonio Spurs, had a 111-101 loss, with 10 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds. And then 29 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, with a 137-96 win against Sacramento. So very interesting to see. Obviously looking at Santi, has done a great job in those games where they face off against a poorly defensive team. And that's why coming into this next one with a matchup like Dallas, we are expecting Santi to be able to go on the over, but strictly in that points and assist department. So points and rebounds department. Sorry, apologies for that. So, points and rebounds is definitely where you want to focus on. I would stay away from assists. Points and rebounds, we see a lot of value there to go on the over, especially if the line is under his averages.